Chicago, Chicago, that toddling town. Chicago, Chicago, I will show you around. I love it, bet your bottom dollar you lose the blues in Chicago, Chicago.
Hello, my name is James Terrell, and I'm here with distinguished Professor Kevin Kashulik. It's very nice to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you, James.
We are going to ask you some questions about the Willis Tower in general, or mainly, and about its energy consumption. Would that be fine?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. So the first question would be, the Willis Tower, what are some ways that they can reduce their energy consumption?
Okay. Well, the Sears Tower, it currently uses long life energy efficient light bulbs for its 145,000 light fixtures.
Okay.
It also has smart lighting systems that automatically dim when the sunlight is shining in the building. Right now, there's also 30% of energy allotted in the Sears Tower is wasted, but that number could easily reduce to something more like 10% by installing LED exit signs, for example. These signs can dramatically reduce the maintenance by eliminating the need to replace the lamps, and they can save $10 per sign annually. Another solution is to purchase energy efficient office equipment, electronics, and commercial cooking equipment. Many of these products are Energy Star certified, and that means that they reduce greenhouse gas emissions and other pollutants caused by the inefficient use of energy.
Almost like coinciding with the first question, it would be, how much energy is generally required to cool these large buildings, and how would that expenses be reduced?
Okay. Well, currently the Sears Tower saves 10 million gallons of water by relying each year on reduced water flow fixtures. It also has a unique heat salvage system that takes heat from the electrical transformers in the basement, and they use that to heat the water that can be used in the rest of the tower.
Okay.
But like you asked, cooling accounts for 15 to 25% of the total energy consumption. But this percentage is reduced in most modern skyscrapers by using a ventilated facade system, which provides efficient means of cooling, and it most often involves shading devices that control solar penetration and glare. And these systems most often use sunscreen louvers, which are operable shading devices that respond to the sun as it moves through the sky during the day.
And with all of that, with all the outlets and electricity going through that building, is it like a strain to the city at all, or like to the city of Chicago? The power grid?
The power grid sucks in Chicago.
Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, with all the buildings and especially the large buildings like that, I can see it. It's pretty old as well, the power grid, or have they updated that?
Well, Chicago's been around for a long time, so
very long time.
Always need improvements.
Yeah. The next question also, are there any alternatives to using only AC and air conditioning in the buildings?
Well, in addition to air conditioning, the Sears Tower currently uses, it has 1,000 tons of condenser water available for supplemental cooling.
Okay.
It would be even greener if the water they use was harvested rainwater from the tower's roofs.
Yeah, it's like just make a little bowl up there.
Yeah.
So, okay. And also, like solar panels, would they be, because I know some places in some areas, solar panels that's where they're going.
Mm-hmm.
So, would solar panels be able to work in a place like Chicago, do you think?
Potentially. The Sears Tower does currently use solar panels on the 90th floor to heat water that's used for the building's restrooms.
Okay.
But something that the tower could implement is solar windows, and those could potentially transform the tower into a vertical solar farm.
Mm-hmm.
One example of solar windows is called photovoltaic glass units. And these insulating glass units simultaneously provide solar energy generation and optimized daylighting through high efficiently crystalline silicon solar cells.
Oh, all right. And also going along with how effective they are they actually able to be in a place like Chicago, the solar panels?
Well, it seems like we get sun about once a week in Chicago, so
Yeah, I think that's today. It looks pretty nice today, but
today's an exception.
Yeah.
It is the Windy City, so maybe they should just build a giant wind turbine on
That-
top.
that would probably work as well. Also, with the Sears Tower, they have a lot of windows, and with the sun and everything, how does occasionally when you get it, of course.
Yeah.
But, how does the keep from the? I heard the one way they keep the sun from heating up the Willis Tower like a greenhouse is tinted
Mhm.
windows. Do
Yeah,
you have
that's true.
anything to say on that?
Well, right now the Sears Tower has approximately 16,000 bronze tinted windows. Um, but modern skyscrapers, the windows they use are advanced spectral selective windows, and those filter out the thermal rays that heat the interior.
Okay.
By using these windows, the average reduction in thermal energy is 30 to 40%, but the most effective windows can reduce up to 80% of energy.
Okay. And do you think it would? I don't know. Would it be helpful if they tried to swap out these windows for the? Would it be cost effective to swap out the windows for the new ones, or would that be kind of really expensive?
I mean, 16,000 windows is a lot to work with, but
That's true.
I think it's definitely an initiative that they could pursue.
Yeah, maybe in the long run it would save them a lot of money as well. That is true. So also, is it more cost effective to retrofit older buildings, like I was saying with the windows, or be more energy efficient to build like a whole new building?
Well, the answer varies by each specific building, but I believe it's most cost effective to build a completely new building. The best solution here, it might even be just for the owners to destroy the Sears Tower and go build a green skyscraper someplace else.
Okay. Where would you say would be a good place for that to be? I know some of the LEED gold certified towers are like in New York City. I know they have a couple there.
Yeah, well, one good example that you're talking about in New York is the Hearst Tower, and that achieved energy efficiency by emphasizing things like site and climate, form and massing, passive design, the environmental systems, mobility and connectivity, land and ecology, and simple things like materials waste and water.
Okay. Very interesting. Do you think there would be a way somewhere in the future, maybe long down the road, anytime soon, where buildings, skyscrapers could be 100% self-sufficient?
I believe that's definitely a state that could hopefully be reached sometime in our lifetime. But until the vast portion of society achieves self-sufficiency, I mean, you always have to expend energy to then build self-sufficient buildings. But once that state is reached, buildings will be able to provide its residents with energy, water, and food. That's all acquired from the building.
Right. And that would be very helpful with these large buildings and with everyone starting to move into more cities nowadays. That would help a lot and save them a lot of money in the long run. All right. So, all right. That is all my questions. You answered them very nicely. Thank you for that.
Thank you
It was
again.
very nice having you. It was nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you, James.